What's up, people? Through the last several weeks, months, and even years, there's been a big talk on what is hardcore. Well, you know what? We're going to get into it today. We're going to break it all down because there's been a lot of foolery that is confusing a lot of people. Let's get into it.
Flying high as a kite.
What's up, everybody? It is your boy MM2K back again with another episode of the Prognosis. What's up? What's up? Hey, can y'all hear me good? King 405 King, appreciate you for coming through. Thank you, Maslin. Thank you, Ash and Luca and Maslin. Panel members of the Scum Podcast. Check it out every Saturday. Luca's all over the place like me, so there's not a definite time. I think it's 4 p.m. Central, Luca. If she's listening, if you can let the people know too, somebody drop a link to Luca's channel. I appreciate the retweet. With that said, I want to welcome everybody to this episode of the Prognosis. I know I just did a show yesterday. Again, let me know if you can hear your boy A-OK. Let me do this. I'm going to do a couple things because I've been having some issue with YouTube. YouTube has been cutting up. Excuse me. And they have not. Okay. Oh, look at that. Finally. Andrew Wilkins. Oh. Sorry for the feedback. Okay. But y'all can't hear it. Andrew Wilkins. What's up? Miko Dawes. What's going on, peoples? What is going on? I appreciate everybody coming through. Here, if y'all want to do me a huge favor, you know what I'm saying? It only takes $1 in a dream. If I can find the goddamn thing. Here we go. Can I do that? Copy link in the address. All right. See this, my friends? No, that's not it. I don't know what the hell that is. Let me see if I can copy it that way. Yeah. Control C. See this, my friends? It's the free messaging app, okay? All you have to do is if you want to leave a comment, you can do it via the free messaging app and it doesn't cost you a dime and it supports the channel. I appreciate everybody. If you could do that, you want something read on air and we can immediately discuss it no matter what the topic is, even if I'm going on one of my tangents, what it does is it pops right in your boy's face, pause, so I can see it and then we can discuss it right then on air. You know what I'm saying? Live. All right. So y'all see the topic, hardcore gamer versus hardcore content. So here's what's been going on, y'all. We have a lot of people, and again, let me know if you can hear everything okay. Andrew Wilkins says, certified crazy Luca. Yeah, it's the homegirl Luca, man. Luca's fed up with me. She's extended invitations. And I definitely want to come on the show. Problem is my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I explained to y'all earlier. Oh, hold on. The thing is cutting up. It wouldn't be Streamlabs OBS if something didn't go wrong. You know what I mean? If everything was right, it wouldn't be Streamlabs OBS. So one of my images went out, but that's okay. Anywho, I told y'all yesterday where my wife we had planned to do the 4th of July on Saturday. And she just comes out of left field and totally just throws me off whack. Messes up my schedule and everything. You know what I mean? And had wanted to do the 4th of July on the 4th out of nowhere. So because of her erratic nature, and what my wife likes to do is she'll hop up, and it drives me crazy, and it drives the kids crazy too, because all we do is we fight for the first 2 hours Saturday morning, 5 o'clock, on point, because my wife just hops up 5 in the morning. I want to do this, and I'm like, hold on. All week we sat down, we were supposed to plan, you know what I'm saying, and now you just want to hop up 5 in the morning. Like, I told the story 1,000 times, and I'm sorry if this is the 1,001 time, first time that you heard it. But one day, and I'm serious, one day, my wife literally got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and she says, yo, M2K, deciding on the house is dirty. You need to clean it. And she was yelling, windows open, it was during the summertime. She's just going off. I'm half asleep. Now, if I'm half asleep, it's either one or two things. Either you can brainwash me because I'm in and out, or two, I'm in a horrible mood. And bless her soul, lucky for her soul that day, I was in my in and out phase. I literally went outside and started power washing the house 5 in the morning. Now I live next to a fire hall, and the people at the fire hall was laughing at me because they could hear us. We weren't even arguing. They could hear her yelling at me through the window, and they said, bro, they said, you really came outside this time. And I said, you know what? I'm half asleep, but I said, you know what? I'm going to keep the peace. I'm going to keep the peace today. And they were just cracking up. Let me just get this. Let me tweet this out. But I thought I should share that with y'all because I can't type. Hold on. M2K feature, M2K. Check us out now. And if you could do me a huge favor to tweet this out for everybody, because I think this is going to be a very important topic to go over. I say it's an important topic because there's been a lot of confusion in the community. You can't post right now. What the hell are they talking about? This is a mistake. We'll review it. Okay, whatever. Talking about I can't post. Usual activity. Oh, they ain't letting me. Oh, these mugs is these you have. They may have used Facebook. You may. Huh? All right, whatever. So now they cutting up. I can't post to Facebook. I'll just put this in the. Being that they're cutting up, I have no idea what they're talking about. Okay. So I'll just put this in the Discord. Hopefully, these mugs. Oh, they serious. They ain't gonna let your boy post. All right, whatever, man. So anyway, we just gonna rock out with who we got and spread the word too if you can. Ashley Luca, why are you and Guardia always talking about me, Andrew? Why y'all always talking about her, Andrew? Stop it. That's not cool. But that's what that was my little tidbit story about. I was talking about you too, Luca. That was my tidbit story on why I keep missing the show. And Luke is upset with your boy right now. She's done with me, you know. Blame my wife and my kids, my spastic wife. With that said, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. So, and big ups to the homie Dirk Griggity for tweeting this out as well. I appreciate it. All right, so. No RIP Xbox podcast today, as they like to say, right? MM2K, you on the Phil Spencer hate the Phil Spencer propaganda, man. What's wrong with you? Phil Spencer's Jesus. Reincarnate. That's a whole nother podcast. I've said what I've had to say about Phil. We're gonna take a break from that. Like I said, as long as Phil is up to his effery, then it is my job as a gamer that advocates for other gamers, for the unaware gamer, to bring truth to light. You know what I'm saying? But we do have other things to go over as well. Now, why do I want to cover this topic today, which is hardcore gaming versus hardcore content. People are trying to clarify what is hardcore in the light of, people saying that Microsoft at E3 slighted the hardcore gamer by not showing hardcore games. Okay. And big ups to Randolph Thor, because Randolph Thor actually said, hold on, one white cog said with his stuff, says, we want RIP podcast. All right, well, you'll get a tidbits of it, one white Kong. I can't, what I'm saying? I can't go a whole 24 hours without kicking Phil's rib cages somehow. Pick ups to one white Kong. Oh, man. But with that said, again, y'all, big ups to Randolph Thor, because Randolph Thor was like, we talk about hardcore, but it's just like this opaque term that's being used, and it's really not defined. It's like beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So hardcore to these 5 people mean this, hardcore to these 6 people mean that, and all other stuff. And it's okay to just go by off of what it means by interpretation. But when you got somebody asking for something specific, like how gamers are saying, I want X type of content, you know what I'm saying? And they're labeling it hardcore. When you're trying to debunk that, or you're trying to rebut their comments on why they're not getting X type of content, even if you're using the same words, if you're using that same term out of context, then you're creating a discussion that's really not going anywhere. All right? So people say I want hardcore content, but you have a different definition of what hardcore is. So you're trying to rebut the type of content that they're asking for, and you're like, well, hardcore means this. Again, it's not a fruitful discussion. It's wasting valuable time in the community, and it's not helping either side get anywhere, which side of the tracks you lay on. You know what I mean? Now, why is this term so confusing? How did we get so confused in understanding something as simple as what hardcore is when it comes to gaming? Well, it happened from the misleading terminology that was embedded in using the term hardcore, by corporate schemers and shills of certain corporations. The term is now all over the place because of those two entities. Like, I've been gaming for 30 plus years. All right. I'm old as shit. I gotta rub. I'm so old to stay regular. I gotta rub my teeth in Metamucil. All right. I gotta bathe in Metamucil. You know what I mean? So I've been gaming for a very long time. With that said, the term hardcore was never confusing back in the day. It wasn't confusing back in the day because gaming wasn't as lucrative as it is now. You didn't have as many hands in the pot as you do now. And the more hands you have in the pot, the more you have powerful entities trying to muck the water up and confuse people and construe things to their benefit. All right. So what we're going to do today is we're going to clarify everything. We're going to make sure there's no confusion. Everybody understands where we're coming from and what we're talking about when we're talking about, again, hardcore gamers versus hardcore content. Okay? So, what are the differences? But before I get into that, let me do one thing, because this thing is buzzing in my ear. And let me see if they'll let me tweet this out now or send this out on Facebook now. They probably won't. Post. Ooh, shoot. They still ain't having it. I swear, bruh. You can post again in 20 hours. Oh, no. Oh, they doing your boy dirty. All right. So, I might as well just close this out. Let me see here. Yeah, let me close this out. Leave. Okay. Just close it all out. They ain't gonna let me post. If y'all can, post this out on Facebook, everything. Okay. So Um, there's a difference between hardcore gamer, hardcore content. Here goes the differences. Let's start with hardcore gamer, okay? A hardcore gamer has a love or an appreciation of video game culture and output, along with appreciating multiple games and genres. Does not have to be all or even most, but it has to be multiple, okay? Along with routinely dedicating time and playing those games. You know what I'm saying? And even if the time fluctuates, they're still embedded within the culture of games. Again, within multiple genres or titles. I'm going to go through that again. They have a love or appreciation of video game culture and output. They appreciate that output within multiple genres. Doesn't have to be all, it doesn't even have to be most. And they are routinely dedicating time and effort within playing those games. Okay? The term gamer, you all those precursors are important, but at the end of the day, at the base of it, you gotta play the goddamn games. Or you gotta make effort to play the game. So again, there's times to where, you know what I'm saying? Let's just say if I dedicate 30, 40 hours a week into gaming, and because I got to go on a business trip, I can't game for 2 weeks. Well, does that mean I'm not a hardcore gamer because I don't do it every week? No, I got to go on a business trip. I can't game. You know what I'm saying? I'm still embedded within the culture. I still have the desire to do it. I'm going to do it as soon as the opportunity presents it. I'm a hardcore gamer. Now, why am I highlighting the need to have to be focused on multiple games? Because you got a lot of people that only play Madden, they only play 2K, they only play Call of Duty, and they don't care about anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like I was talking to, before the 4th, I was talking to my brother-in-law. Excuse me. My brother-in-law loves any game that has to do with zombies. And he just got that way about a few years ago. So now that he's on hard, now that he's into gaming and he loves zombie games, he plays all types of zombie games. He plays zombie puzzle game, anything in relation to zombies, he loves it. But he plays it under multiple genres. He don't care about anything else, but he does it under multiple genres. He just loves zombie games. And he dedicates hours upon hours of it every day. You know what I'm saying? And he's been like that for the last, several years. Yeah, he would fit the classification of the hardcore gamer and he's into the culture. He's looking at, zombie games and things of that nature, things related to gaming. He's into it. Me and him talked about 2 hours of gaming during our 4th of July celebration. And he's dedicating the time into the games. Now, the reason why I got to say multiple genres is because, again, you have people that just play a Madden, they'll just play a 2K, they'll just play a Call of Duty, and that's it. I have a cousin that he was on the brink of divorce. This mug played Call of Duty as soon as he got home from work. He barely slept and went to work every day. Loved Call of Duty. Is he a hardcore gamer? Or is he a hardcore Call of Duty player? I was talking to him about other games. Didn't care about them, whatever. I talked to him about EA and Activision. Didn't care about it. All he cared about was Call of Duty. Other shooters, Battlefield. Didn't care about it. He just liked playing Call of Duty. He has no care of the culture. He's not into multiple genres. He just dedicates his time to to Call of Duty. He's a hardcore Call of Duty player. Right? Just like I can't say I'm a hardcore reader if the only thing I read is a Hardy Boys mystery. I just love Hardy Boys books. So when you say when you're trying to say that you're hardcore about an entire outfit and there's multiple genres within that outfit, you don't have to be connected to all. You don't have to be even connected to most. But you got to be connected to at least multiple. Just carving out one slice of the pie or one type doesn't make you hardcore for that entire outfit. You see what I'm saying? Graphic Guard, what's up? So, again, that's a hardcore gamer. Appreciates the culture and has an appreciation for multiple elements within that culture and routinely dedicates time to playing those games within those multiple elements within that culture. Again, it doesn't have to be all, doesn't even have to be most. Now, here is a hardcore, this is what hardcore content is. Okay? Or a hardcore content gamer. A gamer that likes hardcore content is a gamer who loves very intense or extreme content within gaming. And that extreme content often requires advanced skill and longer player sessions. So, again, let me give you an example. All right. You might have, let's take Fortnite. I'm trying to think of a good game to compare Fortnite to. Or Battlefield. Okay. Battlefield has more intense, more extreme, more gritty, more graphic content than Fortnite. So it fits more within a hardcore scheme. Hardcore gaming content is a combination of intense extreme content, very intense extreme content, along with it requiring skills and having long play sessions. Now, to be the best Fortnite player might require skills. You know what I'm saying? To be the best at anything that has a lot of people with it, it might require skills. But to play, everybody gets in a game of Fortnite and plays it, right? Just like, let's take, for instance, Wii Sports. Was Wii Sports? I mean, you had a lot of people playing Wii Sports. You could even have a hardcore gamer that was in love with Wii Sports. I love Wii Sports. But is Wii Sports intense? Is it extreme? Did it really require skill? It was fun, but it didn't require advanced skill. You know what I mean? So that's not hardcore content. So, with that said, understand, you can't make the argument a hardcore gamer argument versus somebody that is asking for hardcore content. You can be a hardcore gamer without ever embracing hardcore content. Because hardcore gaming has nothing to do with a specific genre. Hardcore gaming has nothing to do with content. It has more to do with output and volume, you know what I'm saying? And dedication. But it doesn't have nothing to do, it's not specific to specific content. It's just dedication to gaming in general. As long as it's multiple. Hardcore content is more specific. It's intense, it's gritty, it's extreme. And it often requires advanced skill, right? That include longer play sessions. That's way more specific. So again, we have to be very careful, because I've heard this over the last week or so, that people questioning others who want hardcore content by rubbing that against the context of hardcore gaming. They're two totally different things. They've only got mucked up in the water. They've only got muddied. The lines only got blurred because as gaming became more lucrative, it became more of an asset to these corporate schemers to do that. Hence came the term core. Now, what the hell does core got to do with any of this? Core is just a term that's been made up. And it's been made up within the last few years. So that confuses things even more. Let me give you an example. You could be a hardcore drinker, meaning you drink every day. But what you may be drinking is natural ice, Bartles and James. I may not be a hardcore drinker. I may only drink once or twice a month. At like a happy hour at work. But when I drink, I only want the hard shit. Excuse my French. I may only want that 151 spice rum. Or that tequila. You know what I'm saying? Top shelf. Straight. No chaser. Now, again. Let's take it to wrestling. People that are wrestling fans. Back when I was growing up, there was WCW. WWF, which is now WWE, and then out of nowhere came this crazy child called ECW. Now, a hardcore wrestling fan watches a lot of wrestling, every single wrestling show that comes on, right? They'll watch all the Summer Slams and the Monday Night Raws and the Friday night and Saturday night main events. That was a show that came on the weekends when I was growing up. They watch everything, whatever WCW had going on, NWA, whatever. They watched all that stuff, right? So they were watching hours upon hours of wrestling. But someone that likes hardcore wrestling may only watch ECW that only came on once a week. It came on a Saturday. And ECW was hardcore because they were literally busting each other over the head. Can you imagine that? In the script, all right, Mankind, we're going to put a barbed wire around this bat and bust your head wide open. And it would literally happen, even though it was scripted. That's hardcore wrestling. Throwing people through tables with tacks on them, scraping their faces again. Oh, it was crazy. But that was hardcore wrestling. But a hardcore wrestling fan is someone that's into it as far as volume is concerned, not contextually. Contextually, ECW has hardcore content. So hardcore, the word hardcore, when you boil it down, has variations in meaning. And again, I know I sound like a broken record, but what I'm trying to say is that don't let these corporate shills, do not let these corporate schemers confuse the term and try to bundle it all in one, put it all in one pot like some gumbo. There's hardcore gaming, and then there's hardcore content. And the argument right now is for hardcore content. So here's the problem. And here's why this had to be shed to light. This is why this had to be broken down contextually, and the different meanings of the word hardcore as it relates to gaming had to be put out there for everybody to understand appropriately. Here's why. When you're trying to make the argument as far as hardcore gaming versus hardcore content, let's just focus on the hardcore gaming aspect. In order for you to be considered a hardcore gamer, you don't have to like everything. Who likes everything? Everyone can't like everything. If everybody had to like everything in order to fit in within a category of being hardcore, then what is the definition of good under that pretense? If everybody likes everything, then what is good or bad? What is the necessity of judging things under that litmus? Why would you need diversity? You like everything. Everything that comes out is good. So to be a hardcore gamer, you don't have to like everything. Like, for instance, I come to you. I'm like, no, you come to me. You're like, MM2K, I'm a hardcore. I love films. I love films. I'm a hardcore film watcher. And I'll be like, oh, well, do you watch silent films? And you're like, well, no, not really, MM2K. Damn, you pulled that out of left field, bro. Silent films. No, but I'm a big fan of everything else. Well, then you're not a hardcore gay. I mean, you're not a hardcore film watcher then, if you don't like silent films. All right, I'll give you one more chance. Do you like snuff films? What? Snuff? What? What are you talking about? Snuff films or films? So if you don't like them, then you're definitely not a hardcore film lover, right? If I don't like silent films or, God forbid, snuff films, am I not a hardcore film lover? If I like martial arts and dramas and comedies and all of this shit, that all's thrown out the window if I don't like everything, right? Well, that's the argument that we're getting out here. You not liking everything means that you're not hardcore. And again, as it relates to hardcore content, understand, and again, here comes the Xbox RIP podcast part. I'm going to do this in an even kill way, right? The argument that people are making, I won't say all, because some people have agendas out here. I can't deny that. Not your boy. I just want Xbox to present that hardcore content as they did to draw me in and not do a switcheroony, not get me invested in the tunes of thousands of dollars this generation and lie to me, you know, so they can to support their agenda to reach the 2 billion gamer. Because if we all walked away today, then they can't do that, right? Then gaming is done. So of course, in their minds, they're thinking, of course, we're not going to be honest with them, right? These hardcore content wanters are the people that are funding us right now, keeping us afloat. They keep buying game after game after game. They're embedded in our services, just waiting. They're in this perpetual state of wait. So I get some of you are saying, well, then just leave. But Xbox doesn't want us to leave. They want us to stay. That's why they keep saying things like 2014 is going to be a special year, or this is going to be the greatest year ever. When it's, again, under this new regime, we have yet to see a lineup better than 2008, for crying out loud. And 2008 was nowhere near Xbox's greatest year as far as being a within the gaming community. But I'm still waiting for a year that's as good as 2008 under this new regime, right? So understand, for those of us that are asking for the hardcore content, we're asking for that content not to slight the non-hardcore content, but again, you got to understand, hardcore content is what built the Xbox, period. There is no denying that. Hardcore gritty content, intense extreme content that requires advanced skill and often includes longer play sessions, you know what I'm saying? Like a Halo, you know what I'm saying? Gears multiplayer, stuff like that. Xbox had hardcore content and they had it coming regularly. That's what built the brand. They've had your Banjo-Kazooies and all that other stuff too. But the staple of Xbox gaming, no one can deny that, was hardcore, gritty, AAA content that came on a regular basis that was not elsewhere. So people like me that don't have an agenda, that is like, this is what you brought me here and now you're doing a switcheroony. It's not about us just simply leaving and going elsewhere, because they're not providing that elsewhere either. Okay, So you can say, well, PlayStation doesn't have, as far as I'm concerned, the intense, extreme content that across the board requires advanced skill and longer play sessions. Now, people may say, well, there's the Bloodborne and the Demon Souls. That's a whole nother podcast, man. I'm looking for over the top, extreme, you know what I'm saying? AAA, gritty content consistently. Now, whether you like From Software games, that's cool. If you like them, great. But Xbox had a selection of that pie that had expansive worlds to it too, right? In its heyday, they had all that stuff. Sony's games are more story driven. They don't put the focus in gameplay in that specific arena. The gameplay suits the aesthetics. Is designed to suit the aesthetics. Where the legacy Xbox games were designed to suit the challenge. So it's not as simple for me to simply say, oh, well, I'm going to leave Xbox and go to PlayStation. Because PlayStation is a different animal. It's a different breed. I'm not saying it's a bad animal. It's different. A plate of chicken fingers is different from a plate of spaghetti. There is no definitive answer of which one is better. They're different. Each serves different tastes. So if I'm sitting there waiting for a plate of chicken fingers and fries, you can't sit there and say, well, you're not getting the chicken fingers and fries. The only logical thing for you to do in M2K is to go over and get the plate of spaghetti across the street. That doesn't make any sense. So that's why these people are barking, you know what I'm saying? Barking like crazy, kicking down the door, waving the 4-4, like Biggie said. Because they want that content that was exclusive to legacy Xbox. And there's nothing wrong with that. So, again, that's why people are making that argument. They're looking for hardcore content that was the staple of the gaming business for Xbox before this new regime came. And they're not getting it at all. So because they're not getting it at all, and they're hungry, you keep bringing me cups of juice and cups of water. I'm hungry. So at some point in time, I'm no longer going to say no thank you. I'm no longer going to be nice about it. I'm going to slap the shit out your hand. And that's what you have happening. It's not that there's not appreciation for the AA games. Just like in that same scenario, it's not like there's not an appreciation for the cups of juice and the cups of water. I'm hungry. I need the complete meal. I not only need the cup of juice and a cup of water, but I need that cup of juice and that cup of water to supplement my steak and potatoes. Where the hell is my steak and potatoes at? So that's what you have happening. Well, you ain't hardcore game because you don't appreciate the cups of water in the cup. It ain't about that. You want me to satisfy my hunger with cups of juice and cups of water. It's not going to work. And as a fellow gamer, if you see me starving, whether you ate or not, whether you were satisfied with the juice and the water, as a fellow gamer within this community, why wouldn't you want to see me replenished with food? That's why I say I've never seen anything like this in previous generations. We've had the tabletop gamers, the fighter gamers, you know what I'm saying? The Rampage game, only like to play games like Rampage. We had all types of gamers. back in the day. And we may not have liked their forte, but whenever we heard something being forsaken in the name of gaming, we all stood together and was like, no. Because we knew that even though that wasn't our genre of choice, that we were going to be next. I don't get this. Can someone help? I don't understand this. What's good, Texas Lean? I just don't understand. So here's the solution, y'all. We need to stop equating the love for an exec or the love for a brand and the fact that that exec or that company, that brand might love putting out a lot of output, that love for those people makes you or them supporters of hardcore gaming or hardcore gaming content. It doesn't. And just because I don't support them putting out everything doesn't mean that I'm less of a hardcore gamer. Again, I'm looking at my brethren starving. These mugs are just coming down giving them cups of apple juice and water. Can they at least get some applesauce out this mug? Come on. Can we get a second party game? Phil said no. He don't want to give it. So as an advocate, I am going to speak up about it regularly. Because my hardcore gaming brethren is starving. And again, it's not that water and juice ain't good and ain't important. Don't have no nutritional value. But we're starving. Where's the food? I smell it cooking. You refuse to bring it down. And you said no. No, I don't believe in taking from their kitchen and bringing this food down to you. Let them do that. You're just gonna have to wait, but pay us your taxes. You can't have access to the food court, but pay us your taxes, huh? And I'm supposed to just support that because you or have some emotional tie to somebody and some rich executive somewhere. I'm less of a hardcore gamer because I haven't fell into that trance with you. Is that what we're selling out here? I don't understand. Unbelievable. I personally don't care about an individual's, you know what I'm saying, experience like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about individuals or execs over my personal experience, rather. Like, for instance, Sony side. Sony pulled some BS last generation, right? With the $600 box, and they weren't focused on gaming. They were focused on the supercomputer aspects of the PlayStation 3. Look up the history of the PlayStation 3. You'll be quite intrigued. It was designed to be a supercomputer. They pulled an Xbox One before Xbox One pulled it them damn selves. That's why that cell processor was in there. Again, don't forget. Sony and PlayStation were deep in the battle over the living room. That's the only reason why the Xbox was greenlit in the first place. Is that with the PlayStation there, Microsoft was concerned that Sony had a pipeline to taking over the living room. So they greenlit the Xbox. And that's why they plugged a lot of money into it and lost money. They were willing to release it early with a 60% failure rate and pay $1 billion for it when people caught up to it with the red ring of death, because their focus was just getting saturation in the living room. And when they felt like that they won people's minds and hearts over, which was erroneous, they didn't. They just, even though what they did was at a grand scale, they took down the master PlayStation, which nobody ever did. PlayStation had a 70% saturation rate the previous generation with the PlayStation 2, and they dwindled that down to where they were they were at as far as their saturation was concerned, at least with software, they were number 2. That was a big deal. To take someone that had a 70% saturation rate and dwindle it down all the way like that, Microsoft thought they had won. So they said, we're going to do the PlayStation 3 better than PlayStation did. And that's why they did the Xbox One. But they were wrong. The fight for the living room was a little bit more complicated than they thought, and it became a never was once we got into this generation. Because no one sat in the living room together anymore all like that. Everything was on the go. So the fight for the living room became meaningless. Sony understood that. So they just focused on making their box prevalent for gaming. And Microsoft had to play catch up and just fumbled all over themselves with the early messaging at the beginning of the generation, even though I don't believe that was their detriment. Their detriment is when they gave up the battle of the living room like they should have, but didn't focus on hardcore gaming. They focused on just simply on how to make gaming lucrative. They didn't focus on how to make hardcore gaming lucrative. And I believe Sony is now trying to tap into making hardcore gaming lucrative. Not just the type of story-driven games that they create, but I think they're starting to tap into and starting to look into the type of games that originally brought the Xbox people to the Xbox. They understand there's a difference. They understand there's a difference between their vision of hardcore games and the vision of the legacy Xbox fans' vision of hardcore games. They understand that. They understand there just isn't one there's just one definition of it. Why do I say that? One unilateral definition. Why do I say that? Because there's this little game, a little known game in the console world known as Warhammer Deathwing, the enhanced version. Look this game up. It reminds you of a BioShock in space. Very, very good game. Very good game. Now, it was set to come out in 2008, May of 2008, to both systems. To Xbox and PlayStation. About a month or so before it was set to release on both systems, along with PC, if the Xbox version isn't coming all of a sudden. They canceled it. Now, a lot of hardcore content gamers that were following this game, that know what this game is about, they were highly disappointed. Not a lot of people knew, so it didn't draw a lot of attention. It drew attention to your boy. Again, because I think BioShock is like of the best games this generation. Of the last few generations, I'm sorry. So a BioShock in space would have been a hell of a experience on Xbox, especially with the Xbox One X coming out. So mysteriously, this game is not coming on the Xbox, but it's coming on PlayStation. And when you look into why it wasn't coming on the Xbox, people were like, the GameWorks, the developers behind it said, "Oh, we had some coding issues." So you have a game that you developed on PC, right? It's available on PC. Microsoft has UWP, right? So you have a game that works on PC. It's a Windows game. Windows is owned by who? Microsoft, right? You got this UWP implementation out. And again, I understand that UWP, as far as converting all types of software seamlessly between PC and Xbox, didn't work quite to their liking. But still, it was still the implementation that was out there, the coding that was out there. The game can be coded for PlayStation 4, but it can't be coded for Xbox? Things things that make you go, I call bullpucky on that. What happened was, and Sony revealed that they were eyeballing the success or the potential success that the Xbox One X would have, and they were going to do everything within their power to stomp on Xbox's neck. And with Xbox not struggling, it was a successful stomp. And by all intents and purposes, your boy believes that Sony said, this game is ripe for the Xbox brass. This is their type of hardcore game. You got to remember, games like BioShock came to fruition because of Bill Gates, Steve Ballmer, and Microsoft and Xbox. Ken Levine told you that if it wasn't for Xbox, for Microsoft's involvement in the game, BioShock would have never come to fruition. He told you that. Now you got a BioShock in space that's ripe for the Xbox brass. Games like Quake and all that other stuff being ported to console is right for Xbox. Not so for PlayStation, but it's only coming to PlayStation. Sony did their business thing. They dropped that money on the wood. They dropped that duffel on the table, and they said, "Don't bring that game to Xbox. We'll buy them out." And guess what? It wasn't hard to do because Xbox ain't trying to sell you a console. Remember that? Phil been on that kick since 2017. So the makers of Warhammer Deathwing said, "Oh, damn, that's nice that you're going to give us that check up front because these shady Xbots out here, we don't even know if they're going to buy. They ain't buying shit out here. So you're going to cut us that check up front? We're down with it." Just like what Epic Games is doing. Epic Games is not getting these games exclusively because of some 70-30 split. Do not believe that bullpucky. 70-30 of the billion potential accounts out there on Steam is way more lucrative than 85-15 of a few 10 million. What Epic is doing is they're putting money on the wood, they're dropping the duffel down, and they're like, "We're going to pay you more than what you could potentially earn on Steam." And these companies are like, "Wow, you're giving us the money up front. We ain't got to deal with if we got to do special marketing on Steam. We're going to get the money up front." And that's what Sony's been doing all generation, and kudos to them. Sony bought marketing rights to games that they've never promoted. Remember when Xbox One X was dropping that E3 of 2017? And it was all those potential games with the Xbox enhancements and all this other stuff. And we're like, "Ooh, wait till they show that game on stage." Ooh, and none of them games came on stage. You want to know why? Because Sony wisely bought the marketing rights for those games, never even showed them at their E3, but they just bought them up so Xbox couldn't show you the Xbox One X enhanced versions, and they couldn't market it at E3 to make their console's ecosystem look bad. That is the will of a warrior. And for them to go after a dog shit, unknown game like Warhammer Deathwing, make it exclusive to their system, I believe, drop that money on the wood, is the harder. We're stepping on your neck, and as soon as you move, we're twisting your Adam's apple. And Microsoft is like, "Okay, I won't move." So again, Sony understands the difference of their particular hardcore content and the hardcore content that brought Microsoft or brought people to the Xbox in masses last generation particularly. So because they're more willing to acknowledge that more than Xbox is now under this new regime, I'm curious. I'm curious to see if going into next generation, if PlayStation is going to continue to satisfy their brass with their type of games, which is fine. And if they're going to do more outreach to the type of games that brought people like me to the Xbox, I'm interested to see, because Xbox won't even acknowledge those type of games anymore. They don't even want to fight for them. BioShock was a time exclusive. That was instrumental to the success of the Xbox brand last generation. They don't even want to acknowledge that type of success. They don't even want to grab for those type of genre-defining games anymore. So again, where people are arguing for hardcore content, they're arguing for that hardcore content that brought them in droves to the Xbox the previous 2 generations. And there's nothing wrong with that, because Xbox built its brand on that. Now, if Xbox were continuing to focus on those type of games, maybe even slowing up just a tad bit, while trying to broaden its horizons, we wouldn't care. We wouldn't care. If there was just a drop in the bucket, we wouldn't care. But with the release of a $500 console that has a $200 counterpart, that has games that look better on it than on my $500 console, you tell me first, yeah, first party content is paramount to the release of this $500 console. And you give me Super Lucky's Tales, Zoo Tycoon, Disney Rush, and Phantom Dust with the original assets for my $500 console? We're not getting a drop in the bucket. So that's why we're asking for the content, the hardcore content. That's why we're at the point now to where we're slapping away the cups of water. It's not that water isn't important. It's not that we don't appreciate water, but we're hungry. This hunger's been building for so long, and you've been doing nothing but giving us cups of water. And we're like, oh, okay, all right. Now my thirst has been quenched. Now I need the food. Where's the food? That's how you got to look at this, guys. 706 Gamer, what's up? So, with that said, we got to understand that equating love and respect and cherishment of a business exec does not make you a hardcore gamer. Again, what Jack Tretton did at the end of the PlayStation 3 generation, that's what I was alluding to prior before I went into the weeds. But Jack Tretton did a lot to help turn the ship around for the PlayStation brass. Fine. Even if you like what Phil Spencer is doing, you know what I'm saying, as far as his implementation, after Donnie D was let go, fine. But just the sheer like and the regard for these guys just because, that don't make you a hardcore gamer. I can't plug Jack Tretton or Phil Spencer into an HDMI port. No! I play the games. It's the output that's important. Not the figurehead behind that, and you're losing sight of that. So stop equating being a hardcore gamer as far as wood buffing for a brand. Stop. Gamers have to stand for one another. You can have all the water that you want. You can have all those AA games if you're satisfied with that. That's fine. But the simple fact that I'm not getting food and I'm hungry and you see me hungry and I'm your gaming brethren. Not only is not the gaming community way, but it's foolish. It's foolish because if they can jit me for food on Monday, they ain't bringing you your water on Tuesday. It's just only a matter of time. They want to tap into a market that don't play the AAA games nor the AA games. They want to tap into a market that got these double B games or C. If they're successful in tapping into them, guess what you're seeing less of? You're going to see less of Everything that we cherish under the Xbox brass, everything will be totally gone. So it's foolish for you to stand by and cap again for an entity or an exec just for the sake of having some emotional tie to something. It's foolish because you're next. And again, I've never seen a generation like this. Gamers of gaming past knew this. We knew this. We never acted like this. I've 30 plus years never seen this. So in closing, I want to say this because I wanted to just make this an hour. Don't let execs confuse our hobby and passion for gaming for their own deviant goals. Force them to continue the trend of providing experiences that propel the intensity and the immersion of games into the next stratosphere. And only if they do that shall they be awarded. Don't praise nobody because they look nice in their limbo shirts. Don't praise nobody because they sat up on stage and just said, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Praise the output. And as long as they continue the output, then you can give kudos to those responsible for it. But I didn't spend thousands of dollars in Xbox for any promises. And again, this is not an RIP Xbox podcast. But whatever you do in gaming, just in general, be on Xbox. Whatever you do in gaming. It's beyond the entity. We got to stop idolizing figures. I get it's tangible to idolize a figure that's in front of you. But you got to keep your head focused on the output. There's too much money in the hands of these companies. They are trained to come up with too many excuses on the fly. We always got to be vigilant. We always got to keep our head on a swivel. Because if not, they're going to beat us in the head with a cash register, as I like to say. You know? But again, it is only when we force them to continue the trend of providing experiences that propel the intensity of games into the next stratosphere. Only then shall they be rewarded. And that's it from your boy MM2K. Before I go, if anybody wants to say anything, provide any contributions, as far as, any questions or comments to your boy before we go off the air here, you can do so. On the free messaging app. That's not the free messaging app. Let me see if I can find the free messaging app. Oh, hold on. I'll put the free messaging app out there. Did I do that? No, I didn't. It ain't working. I was trying to put the free messaging app out there and my little signal didn't work. Oh, come on. Let me see. Copy. Oh, what the hell am I doing? The boy done lost his damn mind. I got the link right here. Duh. All right. Let's do this. Steven said, nope. No, but if y'all want to leave a message for your boy, let me know right there in the free messaging app. Doesn't cost you a dime. And I'll read it live on air and we can discuss it. Any questions? So again, while I throw that out there, just to recap, there's a difference between a hardcore gamer and hardcore content. Hardcore gamer is someone that loves or appreciates the video game culture and output, along with appreciates multiple games and genres, doesn't have to be all or even most, along with routinely dedicates time in playing those games. When not able to play, they're still embedded with the culture, you know what I'm saying, within multiple genres and titles, but, you know what I'm saying, they focus a lot of time within playing the games. You know, that has to be the staple. You could be in the culture all you want, but again, it's called hardcore gamer. Not hardcore game knower or hardcore gaming knowledge. It's hardcore gamer. You got to play the damn games. All right. Now, hardcore gaming content is gamers content that is very intense, extreme within gaming that also requires advanced skill and longer play sessions. Big ups to the chat Platinum 706. He said, "What up, Most? Great show. I'm out of town this week." Oh, bro, you out of town? Dang, man. Hey, yo, big up to my bro 706 Gamer. This cat, and now when you talk about hardcore gamer, I don't know of anybody that's more of a hardcore gamer. This bro plays like 5 games within a day. I mean, he games all the damn time, and it is the hardest thing to keep up with 706 Gamer. So follow my bro on Twitter, on YouTube, all this other stuff. He's always doing gameplays and all this stuff. Big up to my Triple B brethren. I can't wait till you get back. I want to get into that Fallout 76 again, and we can stream it. Big up to the homie Texas Lee. He said, "What's good, fam? Just showing support. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much." You know what I'm saying? So that's hardcore gaming. A hardcore gamer versus hardcore content. We got it now to again, this had to be talked about because people were misconstruing people wanting hardcore content and bringing up arguments of what's a hardcore gamer. But even when we're bringing up what's a hardcore gamer, we got to stop equating hardcore gaming with the love of an exec or brand. That has nothing to do with gaming. That's just fanboying, okay? And gamers have to stand up for one another. We got to get back to, because I'm gonna say this before I roll out. Nothing against Sony. Sony killed it this generation as far as satisfying their brass. But I will say this, as far as gaming in general, I don't feel like, besides the console war and besides Sony fighting to win the console war, I don't feel like for gaming in general, because I got both systems, I don't feel as good as I did about gaming like I did last gen. I don't feel like gaming was as groundbreaking as it was last gen as far as the overall experience. And I'll say this. Even though Xbox was my preferred console, and I'm not saying that because Xbox, I can say that for the PlayStation 2 generation, it was more groundbreaking then. Even last generation. I mean, come on. Just on the Xbox side, you had Mass Effect, BioShock, you know what I'm saying? Gears, Halo 3, you know? You had a lot of content. Even attempts that fell flat, like Too Human. They were trying more. Then you look on the PlayStation side. You had Uncharted. You had Last of Us. You had like Heavy Rain and even the Souls games, right? Infamous. All those games were created last generation. All that stuff that, was created last generation. Then even just on the multiplat side, you had Borderlands, Batman, Rainbow Six, Fallout. I mean, there was just more risks taken last generation. And it led to more grander experiences. More nuance, more grander experiences. You had a few exceptions this gen. You had a reboot of a God of War, which was a mighty damn good game. You had Horizon Zero Dawn. And look, I dare to say, you had Spider-Man, which was solid for a lot. It's a big deal, but it's Batman in a Spider-Man aesthetic. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about groundbreaking, something unique in totality from last generation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really didn't get that as widespread as you did last generation. So I say that to say, when you have one entity that's not forcing the other entity to try harder. When you have Microsoft that's giving up on that hardcore frontier as far as hardcore content, then you get situations like this where it's just about the lowest common denominator. It's just about company A beating company B, not company A and B trying to outdo each other, meanwhile bringing us the best experiences possible. You didn't get that this generation, I don't feel. You got some few good titles. And it's always the console leader, I think, that puts in the most investment, that comes up with the most unique ideas, that drives the rest of the industry. And you didn't really have that consistently. And that's because you had one group that brought it all last generation and then just gave up. And we as gamers shouldn't be satisfied with that. It's beyond just validating on purchase. Okay? You got duped. You know what I'm saying? You got duped, I got duped, we all get duped. We got duped. Hold these mugs to a standard, man. Hold that to a standard. So, with that said, I want to shout out everybody in the chat. Graphic God, Texas Lean, Hey, Stevens, big up to Graphic God too, man. I appreciate you, man, for all your help that you've been giving your boy, man. 706 Gamer. Who else we? D Almighty Spartan God, what's up, bro? Andrew Wilkins, Jimmy and Quinn, Miko Doss, what's up? Two-Face, Asher Luca, One White Car with your shit. Homie Tip Diving, yo, what's going on, man? King 405, King, I appreciate you, man. Hey, yo, I appreciate all of y'all straight up. Thank you again for this episode of The Prognosis. We do it every week. I know we're bouncing all over the place. Please follow me on Twitter to check my schedule Monday through Friday. And I also have a show, a couple of shows that I run on the following platform, twitch.tv/Mighty Most 2000. My biggest individual project to date, it is called The Hard Knock Digital Culture. All right. Check me out there on Twitch. We are the home of the Hard Knock Digital Culture, where we highlight hardcore gaming, hardcore cinema, including hardcore anime. Check us out there. You can go there, see the schedule up while we're offline. And we have content out there regularly. And with that being said, I want to thank everybody that joined today. Even though Facebook is cutting up, they shut your boy down for 20 hours. I don't know what that was all about. But if you can, put it out there on Facebook, retweet this out. And with that said, you all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Now that you're all equipped and you know the difference between hardcore gaming and hardcore content, y'all can battle all this hyperbole out there. Peace.
Flying high as a kite.